Coconuts. They're dumb and you're wrong. Thanks, Hollywood. Let's let's talk about that. The biggest scam in Hollywood right now and ever, the biggest scam in Hollywood are coconuts. Their portrayal in Western media, in everything from games to books to movies, like 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 Donkey Kong. That's a book, right? And Treasure Island. That's a video game. Coconuts. They've been portrayed as these fuzzy little brown bowling balls full of life-saving coconut milk and that tender, tasty, fleshy coconut white chunk stuff. Doesn't that sound appetizing? The truth is, that's a fat lie. None of that is accurate. They're not brown, they're not fuzzy, they're not full of milk, and Hollywood is fraudulent. So, let's dig into it, shall we? Coconuts are fraud. The way the media portrays coconuts is inherently wrong, driven by lazy workers. Originally, our idea of small brown bowling ball-esque thingy-mabobs with those three little hole things, like the bowling ball. Yeah, we get that idea because that's how they're shipped to America. They've been shipped to America that way because they weigh less. They're 2 pounds lighter when they've been dehusked. There's an entire outer 2 layers of a coconut that really exists in the wild. So the inherent idea of being stranded on a desert island, finding coconuts, sticking a straw in them, where would you get the straw? Sticking a straw in them and drinking, it's inherently wrong. If you hadn't, it doesn't work. If you had nothing to start with, you're screwed. You would need at least a machete, basically, to open the coconut. Without it, you don't have coconut. That's it. There's just no coconut. There's no coconut to be there. If you don't know what's happening, you've got to need the machete. So that's the first problem. With the second problem with it is coconut water, or rather, coconut milk inside the coconut itself is not coconut milk. It's coconut water. With the coconut water is actually liquid form of endosperm, the meat part of the white part that people eat, the actual coconut, that's the endosperm. The plant absorbs that. That's how they grow and plant their seed or whatever. The endosperm itself comes from when it's developing in the nuclear stage, that's just plant biology or whatever. Which reminds me, coconuts aren't even nuts. It's a fruit. So there's that. I'm sure we all know that, though, from that song about the nuts. They're big. The point is, coconut milk is not what's inside of the coconut. How you get coconut milk is you take the white chunky meat of the coconut, you blend it up using the coconut water, and then you strain it, you press it, and you get the coconut milk. But the coconut water itself, first off, is gross, and second off, if you were stranded on a desert island and you just started drinking it like they portray in the movies, you would die. If all you drank for a day straight was coconut water, you would die from potassium poisoning. If you drink 1 or 2 worth of coconut, you'd be fine. But if you drank 5 or 6, a day or two's worth, you would have first kidney failure, and then you'd have a heart arrhythmia, which, in case you don't know, that's basically your heart having a panic attack. That's the big bad. And then you would eventually come to a point where you would lose consciousness and just stop living. You would die from a potassium overdose from the coconut water. Coconuts are not the saving grace. You can't be stuck on an island and find a coconut tree or whatever and be saved. If you don't, it don't do the work like that. No work like you die. That's how you don't breathe anymore. It wouldn't sustain you for a day, or you would have a day, 2 days max before you die. You would do the die. Also, if you ever tried to open a coconut, just stick a straw in it. Where are these cartoon characters even getting their straws? I don't know. Even just the inner lining, the commercialized Garbo, it's hard. It's not the big good, it's the large bad, okay? It's just... Also, Have you seen Moana? Sometimes they go black and just die, and everything on your island dies, and you have to fight a giant lava monster. Coconuts are bad, alright? The way media is portraying them is bad. Naturally, they're fantastic. But the way Hollywood has chosen to portray coconuts, it's gay. I mean, just look at that. They're the big gay. For starters, let's show some examples here. How does Hollywood portray it? The 1975 documentary Monty Python and the Holy Grail shows prominently coconuts being the origin of how hooves make sound on ground from horses. First off, horses never even originated in England. Where did they get their horses? They're not in Britain. It don't do the work like that. Second off, coconuts are even further away than horses. They're thousands of miles away. You would have to travel for that. How did he get coconuts? It just doesn't. And they're brown and fuzzy and small. Not accurate. That's inherently the big guy. Another prime example is that other documentary, Ice Age. The squirrel guy, Scrat or whatever, he's frozen at one point. This is in the end of the documentary. Like 20,000 years later, he wakes up or whatever, and he tries to bury a coconut. Yet again, it falls from a tree, brown and fuzzy already. That's just not accurate. They don't exist like that. If you were being 100% realistic, if a coconut that has already been dehusked falls out of a tree, and it's dehusked already, it must have been there for a really freaking long time. At that point, it's gone bad. Because yes, coconuts can go bad before they're even open. There's all kinds of crap in there, parasites and mold. There wouldn't even be any liquid endosperm yet left. It would all be if you tried to eat it, you would die, just straight up, like death. All the big bad, all at once. No more alive times. Convincing little kids that if they were to be freaking stranded on a desert island and coconut, they would be fine. No, they would die. They would die. They would die. No more breathing. Just death. Another example of coconut misinformation, not in a movie but in a video game. A video game, Stardew Valley. A game made by Concerned Ape. I love this game very, very much, but it has coconuts in it, and they fall directly out of the tree already in their brown, dehusked, non-realistic, inaccurate garbage representation by the media. It would kill you if you ate it first off, and the big bad coconut, no, yet another completely unrealistic portrayal of coconuts in media. It's bad. It's the big bad. It's not even America. It's not just America. We got Japan screwing it up too. Nintendo's Donkey Kong. All of the Donkey Kongs. There's coconuts everywhere, and they're all wrong. All of them. They're wrong. Every single one is wrong. DK64 in Mario Kart. They're just wrong. Okay. It's the big bad. Coconuts, they don't look like that. You would die if you tried to live on coconuts. It's the large not gonna work. Okay. It's the big no. So in conclusion, coconuts are portrayed incorrectly, and if you really did find a coconut out in nature that looked the way that they are portrayed, you would die if you tried to eat it. If you found an actual coconut, if you even knew what it looked like, watch Castaway, thank you, Tom Hanks. They actually give, if you actually knew what it looked like, and you somehow miraculously cracked it open, and tried to just live off of it, you would die because of potassium poisoning. So, thank you, Hollywood. Thank you for fraudulenting everywhere. Don't fraud at me, Hollywood. Don't freaking touch my bread, alright? Frauded. You've all been deceived. Don't let yourself be deceived anymore. Coconuts are inaccurate. Google, freaking go to Wikipedia, coconut.com. I'm sure it's a website, maybe, perchance. Visit, Mexico or something. Find coconut tree, please. No.